SVG beginning to rack up them wins. Kyle Larson with some awesome pit call strategy. And Martin Truex, well,
3, 2, 1.
What's up, everyone? Todd Brown, That Racing Show. Thanks for dropping by for this pit stop segment. Sonoma, out there in wine country, and a lot of people had a lot of reasons to do some whining this weekend. We're going to talk about all the racing action that took place both Friday and Saturday out there. But first, I want to start out with this right here. This is something I thought was really, really damn cool that happened for the show this last week, just a couple days ago. And that was this right here. Dale Jr.'s Dirty Mo Media commenting on an episode, and man, this means a lot to me right here for a lot of reasons, because biggest thing is this is a one-man show right here, and I love stuff like this. And I've worked with Dale Jr. in the past for probably close to a decade on other productions and film and promotional stuff of that nature, from the Mountain Dew deal with Dewey Rider all the way down to this piece right here, which is a really special piece that took place for Nationwide during the end of his days in the series. And that one was really special because Amy was in that, his Uncle Danny, so much stuff. So it was really, really an honor to be a part of that. But man, like I say, something about this right here just feels really, really cool and really different. And much appreciation to Dale Jr., Dirty Mo Media, for taking the time to check out the show, and especially the time to comment, because that means a ton to me right there. Now, let's talk about this racing right here this weekend. We're going to start out with Saturday with the Xfinity race, and got to talk about Shane Van Gisbergen, SVG. I mean, wow, back-to-back wins right here. Yeah, they're on road courses, but still, back-to-back wins, and this is really amazing to me. As I said in a recent episode, it's really wild and mind-blowing to me that in under 20 races across the different divisions here of NASCAR, he's able to get wins in both cars like this. And somebody commented on one of my episodes here, or I think it was the last one, that said, yeah, but he's not won on an oval. Where's that oval win? And the thing is, this is a new series for him. Both of them are new series. He's in two different cars that are totally different, raced completely different from each other. A lot of the guys in Cup are still trying to get used to different things with these cars. So he's out there, two different rides, and able to win in both of them. So I got to say, ton of talent in that man right there. And I love seeing it because I think he's a great sport. I think he's great for the sport. And, man, I just love to see stuff like this happen. But you got to look at it now. Now we're going in to Chicago here in less than a month. And, man, if he gets a win there as well, he's got to be a shoe-in for that third charter over there at Trackhouse. So much talk, discussion about what's going to happen there. Somebody's going to be an odd man out. And right now, with back-to-back wins, no doubt he's going to be strong in Chicago. I think he's definitely got to be 100% the lead contender to be full-time in the Cup Series for Trackhouse next year. But it's going to be interesting to follow this and just see how everything happens. But now we got to talk about the guy that he raced with here for this win right here. We'll take a look at this. SVG coming in there underneath Austin Hill, and they make a little contact there. And this is very reminiscent of what happened to these guys at COTA not that long ago. And, to me personally, this is great to see these guys up here battling like this. And I know Austin Hill has been getting a lot of flack here recently, especially over the last couple weeks about different things. But I got to say this much. This shows the talent level of these guys, because they are both consistently battling for wins like this. And yes, these are on road courses that this happened. But Austin obviously got his wins this year already. Started out the year with a great start and still up there battling for wins on different platforms, different race types, racetracks. So really, really cool to see these guys racing like this. But it's interesting because, Austin having that little conflict there with Cole Custer just not that long ago there at Charlotte. And what was really wild about this was that Austin, when he was turning that car around, Cole Custer's got his thumb out the window, giving him that thumbs up. And there was some more sign language going on after this race right here. As you can see here, Justin Sheldon capturing this great picture right here of SVG doing the burnout. And if we zoom in here, you can see that Austin Hill was doing some more sign language and telling him, yeah, yep, you won. You're number one right there with that. So So definitely some different forms of sign language going on out there, but still, it's pretty interesting to me following the races at COTA and here as well, that Austin Hill kind of kept quiet about things, not really attacked SVG as far as the driving. This week saying he was going to plead the fifth, especially, I think, after things the way they played out at Charlotte. But still some great running for these guys. And, man, I hope to see these guys battling for a long time in the future like this. Now, let's get to the Cup race here. This was obviously a wild finish in so many ways. Kyle Larson, I mean, come on. Me personally, I thought there's no way he's catching these guys. He's going to get this victory. But some late race pitch strategy there changed everything for him in so many ways. Cliff Daniels, I mean, putting in the work to make this happen. And he tracked them guys down. Caught that 17 and 19, was able to get out there and get past them and take the lead. Man, and that was a pretty wild scenario to see how that played out. Again, no way I thought he was going to catch them guys. But the 17 and 19 racing each other hard. That obviously helped assist with Larson being able to catch up to these guys out there. But still, a great day for Kyle Larson. And this brings me to the point that just happened here a week ago, where even Kyle Busch was saying, why was he racing me so hard for 1 point? But you look at this now, you got to look at Kyle Larson. No points at Charlotte, so he's got to make up for that. And that's what he was doing there just a couple weeks ago, and then able to add on these points this week. So definitely, one of the strongest contenders out there for the championship this year. So those points matter, and they count. And it's going to be very interesting as we get down into the final aspects to see how much these bonus points do play a part in determining the championship this year. So really interesting stories there to follow. But I got to talk about these Toyotas out there right now. I mean, this is mind-blowing to me. In the day and age we are right now, we really don't see engine failures that much in the Cup Series. But to see back-to-back weeks for Toyota and Joe Gibbs Racing have engine failures, something way out of the normal. And obviously something that's got to be a lot of great concern for that race team as we're heading into the summer months. And again, we got Chicago coming up, so another road course. Denny did say that the gearing was a little weird going into Sonoma, so I don't know if that was a part of it or what exactly happened there. But obviously, Denny Hamlin's day ending really early, and just bad day for JGR guys out there. Ty Gibbs getting into the wall himself, not having the best of weekend altogether. But it looked like they had a ray of hope out there. It looked like Martin Truex in that 19 could be the little sunshine for the weekend for them. And this was after Martin having his own issues out there, taking a spin right here in this, and then obviously getting caught up in the incident there with Josh Berry that looked like, more things that were going to hamper his opportunities to win there. And but still, Martin able to come back, get up there, and had that lead. Had that lead for about that long. About that long is where he was in that front. But still, got up there and got that lead. But unfortunately, the luck for Martin continues to be bad. That's one thing that's been consistent this year for him. Has been bad luck. And running out of gas on the very last lap. And this is also very interesting to me because this is something, again, that's happened the last 2 weeks right here. Obviously happening to Ryan Blaney last week. This week happening to Martin Truex Jr. So things that you don't want to see, especially at a checkered flag. But still, that finish, really cool finish for the race fans out there. They were out there cheering Martin on as he just kept creeping and crawling and creeping and crawling. And, man, I got to give a big shout out to that flagman up there. Still up there waving that flag with enthusiasm. The crowd loved it. The crowd went wild. So still an interesting finish for Martin Truex Jr. But I got to say this much. I think right now where Martin's at, I mean, they're running good. They're running strong. There's no doubt he was in contention for this win. He's been in contention for so many wins here lately. And I think the tide is going to turn for him. And hopefully it's going to happen for him at the right moment, when it counts, when it really matters. And if that does happen, we're in for an interesting battle all the way down to the checkered flag at the final race. Because I do think he's got a win coming here really soon. And I think if they get that first one, could kind of be like in the past. They just kind of start tallying up a little bit. So it's going to be interesting to follow that. And I also got to talk about the other guy who he was out there racing with this. Seen them race like this last year together, and they both seem to have their luck change about the same time, and that's Chris Buescher that 17 bunch. I mean, everybody in RFK running really good right now, obviously. And this weekend was no different. Chris Buescher leading a lot of laps out there. And I really do feel it's just a matter of time. Like any weekend, I expect to see that 17 car in victory lane. And I expect it to kind of continue after that. I think once the win comes, they're going to continue on. So it's going to be interesting to see if these two guys do really turn it around here and start having luck on their side. And that brings me to the point of Martin Truex with his retirement, what's going to happen there. So much questions about what's going to happen. And right now, a lot of drivers, it's kind of what Martin does is going to decide a lot of things for so many people. So I think if Martin does get some wins, maybe possibly we could see another year. I would like to see that. I would like to see one whole year for Martin to know he's going to be retiring and be something for the fans and just make something special out of the entire year and hopefully get some more wins and battle for a championship again next year. But still in all, something we're just going to have to follow. Now, I want to bring this to Kyle Busch. This is so interesting to me in so many ways because Kyle is, again, not off to the best of year for himself as well. But what I want to talk about is just the racing that he's been involved in here lately. So much stuff has been going on with him. And you go back to the All-Star race, Kyle said he's tired of getting run over. He's tired of being pushed around, all the things that are happening out there. And you got to go back and look. You go back to Coda, him and Christopher Bell. After that, Kyle getting out, going up, having some words with him. And you follow that up with the All-Star race. We all know what happened there. A big scenario that happened with that one. And then you go to last week with him and Kyle Larson, obviously. Kyle Busch coming out on the bad end of that deal. And then this weekend, this right here happening at Sonoma. Looked like Kyle might be off to a pretty decent finish. And then here comes Ross Chastain in there. And Kyle Busch leaving him a lot of room. Left him a whole watermelon field in there to pass him. But Ross Chastain coming in hard and getting into the side of him. And just a bad day for him. Then running out of gas after that. But this just leads me to wonder if we're going to see Kyle Busch start being a little bit more rowdy on the racetrack. Obviously, we did see it at the All-Star race. But I'm talking about the regular weeks because I know he's getting frustrated with not getting a win. He wants to win. He's expected to win. And having these different issues. So curious to see if we're going to start seeing some of that aggressiveness come out on the racetrack with him and what all could play out with that. But now we're going to talk about these guys from down under coming in here. This is obviously the trend right now, guys coming over from the Supercar series to run here. This weekend was no different. Will Brown and Cam Waters getting out there to run. And Will Brown looking really strong on Friday. Fastest out there in practice, and it set them expectations right there again. Is this going to happen again? Are we going to have another guy come over from the Supercars, debut, win, run up front? A lot of possibilities were there with that. But Will qualifying 24th and just having issues, a lot of electrical issues that really hampered his day. But still had a strong run there. Come from 24th up in the top 10, like a little over a dozen laps or so. So it was showing speed, but those electrical issues came back. And unfortunately for him, he finished in 31st position, 3 laps down. Definitely not the way that they wanted to have that run for RCR, but still impressive to see what he did. Now we got to talk about Cam Waters. Cam qualifying 31st and just out there, biding his time, running along. Got caught up in that incident with Josh Berry as well. And unfortunately had some nose damage as well as some steering damage. So at lap 66, they had to park it. But the really cool thing about this is both of these guys got out of the car and said how much they enjoyed the race and how much they enjoyed being a part of this and that they want to come back. So I do think this is something that will probably happen. Obviously, sponsorship is going to be key to a lot of this happening, especially for Will Brown. Basically, the sponsorship is what got him this ride. But still, interesting to see these guys come over here and to see SVG and now these two come in here and be competitive. Shows the level of talent that's over there. So it's really cool to see all the action like this colliding on these racetracks. But anyways, Fox coverage ending this week. I know a lot of people are going to be happy about that. I was kind of a little bit upset there because I wanted to hear from Kyle Busch. I wanted to hear from Martin Truex. I wanted to hear from different people following this. But unfortunately, we didn't get to in this case. But anyways, I want to know what you think about everything here. And I want to finish this out with that little piece that I started with there If you want to check it out, go ahead and take a look at it. If you don't have to watch. No big deal. But it was a fun little piece I did a long time ago. I think it was back in 2015, 16, somewhere around there. But had to shave for this. This is why you don't see me without facial hair ever. But anyway, still a very special piece. So I'm going to put that at the end. But anyways, throw them comments down below with everything. And let's talk racing. Let's talk about all the situation. SVG. Is there an oval win coming soon? Is he going to win at Chicago? Kyle Busch. We're going to see him explode here soon. So many questions. Martin Truex. Chris Buescher. Is that luck going to turn around? These guys be contenders for a championship. So many cool things to talk about. But anyways, hope everybody out there is off to a great week. And if you like what I'm doing, hit that subscribe button. Give the episode a like and throw them comments. Let's talk racing. But anyways, hope everybody's off to a great week. As always, we'll see you at the checkered flag.
Yeah, I think the most favorite race moment with Dale Jr. would be the first race he won in the Nationwide and the Cup Series, which I think both of them were at Texas. Dale Sr.'s love towards Dale Jr., it's just unbelievable. You know, it'd bring a tear to your eye just like it's about to do me now.
I want to say the Daytona 500 this last year, but Martinsville was actually a little bit more fun. The boys were so excited, and Dale's reaction afterwards, jumping up and down on the stage, the clock almost falling over, was just so neat to watch.
The 2000 Winston All-Star race, that was the one thing that really has always stayed out in my mind, because it was kind of the day that Dale Sr. knew he was passing down a torch to Junior.
The next generation of NASCAR superstar.
Even if you weren't a Junior fan at that time, you still felt that emotion seeing the familyness in there.